What is up, my gaming peeps, and welcome to another episode of Just the Facts with yours truly. So this episode is kind of gaming related, and it's also kind of not. So this week it's something completely different to my usual Just the Facts stuff, and I had planned to do something properly gaming related in this episode. However, with the passing of Article 13, I have decided to push back what I had planned and find out just how difficult it's going to be in the future to be a content creator for YouTube. So with that, let's get right into the episode. So Article 13 of the EU's new copyright directive has sparked huge controversy online, with YouTube campaigning strongly against the proposal. Now I explore and find out why. So with its passing, its effects will be harshly felt within the European Union. Even with Britain on the whole Brexit bandwagon, we will still have to comply with the EU law when it comes to Article 13. This article is going to have widespread repercussions throughout the whole internet. And today, in this episode, we are going to be talking about how this affects you and all the websites you visit on a regular basis and take for granted daily. Of course, EU related, not United States or anything else like that. Also, even if you haven't heard of Article 13 and you don't live in the UK or Europe, there's probably going to be some changes throughout the internet worldwide. So as I just said, big changes are coming to the online community when it comes to copyright laws across the European Union. Now, with Britain leaving the EU in the aftermath of Brexit, we will still have to comply with any new laws that Article 14 forces into place. After years of debate and negotiations, politicians have passed sweeping changes following the final vote in the European Parliament. In spite of several protesters and 275 votes against the article, it was still passed. The changes have proved controversial, with critics being opposed to two specific parts of the law, Article 11 and Article 13. They form part of the wider regulations which are passed. However, these other articles are small and aren't really even worth a description or a discussion in this video, so I'm just going to move right along. So once again, major changes are coming to the online copyright laws across the European Union, which will all but put people like me and any other gaming creator out of business when it comes to video content and uploads to social media like YouTube, unless you count content that is uploaded that is unique to you and created by yourself with absolutely no copyrighted material whatsoever. So yes, that with this article can even mean a logo on a t-shirt or something daft like that. But I'll get into detail on that more soon. The European Union Directive on Copyright is the Digital Single Market, to use its full name. It requires the likes of YouTube, Facebook and Twitter to take more responsibility for copyrighted materials being shared illegally on their platforms. So at the moment, that's any copyrighted music, video footage, gaming footage, or just any pictures in general, uploaded to any third-party sources without its respective copyright holder's permission. It's become known by the most controversial segment, Article 13, which critics claim will have a detrimental impact on creators online. YouTube and YouTube content creators alike have become the most vocal opposition and opponents of the proposal. Because basically, in the next few years, content that we take for granted and view on a daily basis, such as music, videos, game guides, even kitten videos from You've Been Framed, may end up being blocked in our country. Created content for British and EU users may end up being blocked worldwide, such as live streaming games could be blocked across all platforms, such as PlayStation, Xbox, PC, etc., which, as I said, would put people like me and most other gaming content creators in the EU out of business. But despite Article 13 and the Directive on Copyright being passed by EU regulators, it will now have to be implemented by the individual countries within the Union, Britain most likely being the first or possibly the last to agree to it or sign to it, given our Brexit stature. So, what will the new directive be on copyright laws? As stated earlier in the video, Article 13 of the EU's new copyright directive has sparked huge controversy online, with YouTube content creators campaigning strongly against the proposal. Now I'm going to explain just why there's been so much backlash from it. The European Union Directive on Copyright in the Digital Single Market is a European Union directive that is designed to limit how copyrighted content is shared within online platforms. EU directives are a form of legislation that set an objective for member states to achieve. Don't ask me why Britain still has to be a part of this, considering we are leaving the EU with the whole Brexit thing. The whole Brexit thing's been going on for years. I'm just going to leave that where it is because I don't agree with it. Anyway, the directive on copyright and its most controversial component, Article 13, requires online platforms to filter or remove copyrighted material from their own websites. So what this means, it's general media information across the entire internet will be restricted. It's this article that people think could be interpreted as requiring platforms to even ban memes. I mean, for real? Memes? Memes are like the entire population of memes. Basically, it's how the entire population of the world communicates, and they are going to ban them? I mean, seriously? Memes? Really? But yeah, more on that later as well. The directive on copyright would make online platforms and associate sites liable for their own copyright infringements. So multiple big websites that offer information sources like Google or YouTube, and people who use them that are producing content that offers information from other sources such as other media outlets and newspaper articles, will essentially have to be responsible for the copyright of the source that they got it from. So an example of this, if there's a third-party company like YouTube that offers gaming information, say E3 for example, they will have to pay every single source individually for every source they got the information from. Basically, it puts more money in their pockets. Enough said. And if a content creator, such as myself, uploads a video that they can't make money off, it'll most likely get tossed in the blocked worldwide bin. I mean, if you thought copyright was hard on YouTube now, you've seen nothing yet. I mean, this just absolutely takes the beef and takes the cake. I mean, it will kill the internet, and that is all I'm going to say on that matter. Currently, platforms such as YouTube aren't responsible for copyright violations, although they are obligated to remove that content when directed to do so by the rights holders. Sorry. So yeah, as we all know, as content creators, that it's the it's the company who produced said content that enforces copyright issues on YouTube. So say when I tried to stream the Grand Tour game, which led to my 90-day streaming ban, it was Amazon Prime who enforced YouTube to put the ban upon my channel for streaming. Because I was streaming it via a source they couldn't make money from, because obviously Amazon Prime is with Twitch. So if I was streaming it from Twitch, that would be okay. They probably wouldn't have blocked me for any reason whatsoever. So sorry, bear with me. I've just lost my place. I have, of course, written all this down because I was never going to remember all this. But while I'm trying to find my place again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think it's going to kill the internet, or do you think there's just going to be total riots about it? Okay, so YouTube was legally forced to comply with this because Amazon requested that they take the video down. But now with Article 13, it will seem as though the producer of said content will get some kind of say or more of a chance to file a dispute, whereas now you just, with less than 1,000 subscribers, you've no chance of filing a dispute because they just won't listen, because there's no way to contact YouTube at all. I know that from experience. However, YouTube will actually still have the majority vote as to what happens with your videos, as opposed to the company the content would have originally come from. So, as I said, Amazon Prime with the Gran Tour game. Another example would be if you live stream a game, say The Walking Dead for example, and you get a copyright claim for the theme song or any music in the video. That video would still remain up on your channel because the developer has only claimed copyright on the music, not the actual game itself. Although now it would seem YouTube would have the control to take the video down and block it worldwide, whether it's just the theme song copyrighted or not. So basically YouTube is going to have a harder job on its hands, going out of their way to monitor every single channel for every single piece of copyrighted material out there. So really it puts a lot more pressure on the guys at YouTube to sort this out. So proponents of the directive on copyright argue that this means that people are listening to, watching and reading copyrighted material without the creators being properly paid for it. Again, as I said, money in their fucking pockets. That's all anybody cares about these days. Money in the pockets. That's it. So this will also deal a major blow to anyone who enjoys listening to music on YouTube, as it could very well end up being blocked in your location, anywhere in the EU, that is. Most likely why YouTube has started its own music streaming service to have some control over the music that can be listened to when the article goes into full force. But as I was explaining earlier with the meme ban, I will now explain how ridiculous it is. And just, yeah, it went on for quite a while, so I decided to shorten it down and make it simpler for you guys and myself to understand. Basically, this is the part of the directive on copyright that has most people worried and baffled. The article states that online content sharing service providers and right holders shall cooperate in good faith in order to ensure that unauthorized protected works or other subject matter are not available on their services. So since memes are based off internet content that are usually gotten from a third-party source in the first place, say you might find a meme online that has the letter E over a picture of maybe Paul Walker with someone else's face over it. Well, now memes like that may be restricted in certain parts of the internet, even banned on certain social media sites. So let's say Facebook, for example, which is just meme central. This is due to the fact that the screenshot was taken from another source to begin with. So if you live outside the EU, so the United States, for example, you're potentially saved from most of the horrible backlash this is going to ensue. You're probably safe for a couple of years until your own governments decide if this is the best road to go down to properly protect other people's copyrighted materials. Personally, and this is just this content creators and this gamer's opinion, I think this will be the death of the internet. What shall we call this? You know I mentioned riots. I think we'll call it the bandwidth riots. That seems quite appropriate, to be honest. Because no doubt if this went worldwide and popular YouTubers or other content, if this went worldwide and popular YouTubers or other information sources can't provide any new content without getting butt fucked for copyright, then the world's just going to break down into chaos and riots, which I am so totally naming and copywriting for myself, the bandwidth riots. I'm telling you, I am foreshadowing this shit. It is gonna happen. Anyway, there's tons more information on Article 13 online, so if you want to find out more, I suggest you take a look for yourselves, and it's not exactly hard to find. But if I was to carry on going into detail on every little thing about Article 13, we'd be here till next month. There's just so much going on with Article 13. There's just so many information sources going on for Article 13. It is so crazy how it is just being distributed everywhere and basically slapping us in the face before it's even slapped us in the face. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think this will be the end of the internet as we know it? Or do you think it will actually work out for the better in terms of copyrighted materials and copyright strikes for us YouTubers? So that is it for this episode then, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Shout out to all subscribers, old and new. Appreciate the love and support now. At 845 subscribers, with the most recent subscriber being MIM20N. So thank you so much for the recent subscribe, dude. Appreciate it. We have just 8 days left in the 90-day streaming ban series as well. I can assure you I have big things planned when I'm able to stream again. But I still want to hear what you guys would like to see from me when the capabilities are reinstated. So I am more than willing to do anything. As I've kept saying, I'm more than willing to do a long play of a game, more than willing to just have a gaming day, live streaming several different games throughout the day. So do just let me know what you want to see. But yeah, for now, this has been Just the Facts with Gamerdude. Happy gaming, and I'll catch you all real soon, guys.